Hey, this is Two Traveling Teachers, and this is the fourth leg of our summer 2022 trip. This is part one of two videos we'll have of our adventures in San Diego. In this episode, we stayed at the San Diego Metro KOA Resort. It's a beautiful resort, has a beautiful swimming area, lots of nice cabins if you don't have your own camper. Some of them with a big porch to look over the pool area, others that look more cabin-like. Also, there are areas to rent bikes, there's bouncy areas for kids, there's a little cafe with a sort of surfer vibe to it. They have nice laundry facilities and shower facilities if you needed that type of thing. Other options if you want to stay at this campground are the glamping tents as well as sites to put your own tent on. The sites are typically what you would find at all KOAs. Some are pull-through, some are back-in. Ours was an end site. It was a pull-through, and we had a giant patio area with its own gas grill, umbrella, fire pit, etc. There were several like this. They cost a little more, but it was really worth it.
Hey, what you got in there? What happens when you leave the doors apparently open for too long in San Diego. Bugs.
On our first full day in San Diego, we started off by going to Balboa Park, found in the center of San Diego. It's an urban cultural park and is described as a place where culture, science, and nature collide. Now here's an important thing. We found plenty of parking and it was free. Now the history of this park I find quite interesting. It all began in 1835 when this region was still part of Mexico. The Alta California authorities set aside a 1,200-acre tract of land for the public's recreational purposes. That tract of land would one day become Balboa Park. And that makes this park one of the oldest places in the U.S. that has been dedicated to public recreation. In 1909, the San Diego Chamber of Commerce president suggested the park should hold an expo that would coincide with the 1915 opening of the Panama Canal. He said this would put the city on the map and build the city's population. Now it's hard to believe back then San Diego had a population of less than 40,000 people. Now, preparations for the 1915 Panama, California Exposition created much of the park's present-day look and feel. It was decided to use a mix of Mediterranean and Spanish colonial revival style. The buildings and the style were well received by the public, but they weren't really designed to last past the 1915-1916 expedition. So it was decided to restore and improve some of the structures, including the beautiful California Bell Tower. The park contains 16 museums, the San Diego Zoo, multiple performing arts centers, lots and lots of fountains, many gardens, and we visited the Cactus Garden and the Rose Garden. It's just a nice place to walk around, soak in the atmosphere, and hang out. We found many street performers, and all of them were quite good.
Say love is for me only. We hold our bodies close.
of my favorite areas in Balboa Park is the Spanish Village Art Center, which boasts over 200 living contemporary artists. Visitors can watch the artists at work as they create art in a variety of media. I always love watching the glass blowers. And I love how the tile patio is so colorful and cheerful.
After we were done at Balboa Park, we buzzed on over to La Jolla for lunch. All right. I couldn't decide on a restaurant, so we decided on gelato. We've visited La Jolla several times, and we've even stayed there, so we couldn't let an opportunity go by without swinging by and just checking it out. La Jolla is a neighborhood in San Diego where the hilly terrain meets the rocky shore. Here you can find posh boutiques, art galleries, restaurants, and of course the beach. We started out at Scripps Park and worked our way over to La Jolla Cove. Here we could watch the sea lions, the seagulls, the pesky little squirrels, the cormorants, the pelicans, and what are those? Oh, those are just people playing in the water. La Jolla Cove is a small cove that is protected by Point La Jolla and has a small beach. It is part of a marine reserve and is popular with snorkelers, swimmers, kayakers, and marine mammals. There appeared to be some level of mutual respect between the sea lions and the humans. This was a newborn pup. We could tell because we could see the umbilical cord still attached. After that, we walked back towards the children's pool and watched the waves.
Well, we just got it.
Oh, and we felt the waves as well.
I'll tell you this. When